and welcome to the Menopause Mindshift Self-Love Podcast, where we are inspiring women in menopause to unleash their inner queen, write their own story, and define their own menopause journey. I am your host, the Menopause Queen, Lisa R. Triggs, certified menopause coach, certified neuroscience coach, motivational speaker, and best-selling author of The Menopause Mindshift, How I Unleashed My Inner Queen, and you can too. This is a space for real, honest conversations about menopause, because menopause isn't just about hormones. It's neurological, it's emotional, and it's deeply personal. After 20 years of navigating menopause, I've learned that what most women are missing isn't more information, it's a different way of seeing themselves. And in this podcast, we talk about what's really happening in your body, your brain, and the tools that support you in feeling better. You'll hear from inspiring guests, as well as the insights and perspective shifts that changed everything for me. Because self-love in menopause isn't a luxury. It's the foundation. So if you are ready to think differently about menopause, reconnect with yourself, and define your own journey, you are in the right place. Have you ever considered that you might be grieving the body you used to have? During menopause, our bodies can change in ways that leave us feeling frustrated, disconnected, and unfamiliar to ourselves. But acceptance can be difficult when we haven't acknowledged the sadness and sense of loss that can accompany those changes. Before we can create a more supportive relationship with the bodies we have today, we need to give ourselves permission to grieve what has changed. Hello and welcome to the Menopause Mindshift Self-Love Podcast, where we are encouraging women to shift the way they think about menopause, write their own story, define their own journey, and of course, unleash your inner queen. I am your host, the Menopause Queen, Lisa R. Triggs, certified menopause coach, certified neuroscience coach, motivational speaker, best-selling author. Let's dive into this topic today about grieving our bodies during menopause. Guilty. I will honestly admit that the last 6 months or so, I have been struggling myself because I've noticed I've gained a little bit of my weight back that I had lost. And I feel really sad about that. And I've been guilty of looking at myself in the mirror and not being happy with what I'm seeing. I want to be that 130 pounds again. The difference now is I focus more on my health than I did when I was younger. Before, when my metabolism was faster, it was easier to maintain the figure. But now that things have slowed down a bit and I'm only a couple years away from 60. I know things are changing a little bit more. Now, I'm not letting my age get in my way. Don't get me wrong. I am focused on my health, but I've been so focused on doing this business and doing this that I have been not putting my health first. And I'll admit it. I haven't been putting myself or my health first. I've been putting this job first. I've been putting growing my business and getting my name out there and building my speaker reel. I've been putting that first. So I have been my own worst enemy at this time because I haven't been making the time to get my exercise in and making the food choices that I know that I need to make in order for me to be at my best health. So don't think that I'm up in here preaching and not practicing what I preach. I am. And I'm here to say honestly that I'm human and I've let other things get in the way too. I grieve that old body. When we think about our bodies now and even body positivity, something else comes to mind. And that is a little bit of fear, but also losing your former self. And that's where the grief comes in even more. We're grieving our former selves. I know that I'm still grieving my former self, and I believe that that's part of the problem. I'm not letting her go enough. I'm still holding on to her and who she was physically. Emotionally, in every other way, I am here and I'm in the present and I wouldn't want to go back except to that body. I want that body back. And I know so many of us do. And we do this to our minds. I know I'm still stuck there. Just that one little thing. The difference for me now is that I do keep reinforcing the great things about this body right now, because this body has carried and delivered 2 healthy grown children. This body carries me from place to place. This body provides the support that I need. I'm working on this body being stronger than it was before. This body does for me what it needs to do. So why can't I love it? Why am I still stuck back? Because I'm still grieving her. And I've come to acknowledge that that's okay, because life isn't absolute. It's a work in progress. So this part of my journey is still a work in progress, finding my sweet spot with the movement that I need to do. Let's talk about acknowledgement for a minute, which I just did. I've acknowledged that I've been a little stuck when it comes to my body. I'm still grieving and holding on to my old body, because when I look in the mirror, when I see my face, I still see that younger woman. But when I look at my body, I see an aging woman. So I'm still moving the acceptance part of my own journey, accepting myself the way I am now. But here's the funny thing about that. The more I do accept myself the way I am now, the easier it will be for me to lose the weight. It's funny how that works. It might sound like it's backwards, but it is all psychological. It is all literally in my mind. Now, there might be a few physical things going along with it as well, as far as my nervous system. I might have to check a few things there to make sure that everything is functioning properly. And then I have to ask myself, what was I doing before that I'm not doing now? I haven't been moving my body as much because I've been too focused on building a business. That's my own fault. So I'm making sure now that I'm taking the time for myself and my health, because the main goal is to be healthy. No matter what my weight is, as long as my heart is healthy, my mind is healthy, my organs are healthy, my digestive system. So there are different things to consider as well, that this is physical as well as emotional and mental. One thing to keep in mind is that there can be physical. For myself, I know I have to look more into digestive issues, that some of the problem is digestive. I haven't quite found the perfect solution for that yet, but I'm still working on it, and I know I will, because I will keep reinforcing that I do love myself and that I do love this body, because I'm going to continue retraining my brain. The more I tell myself, the more the brain accepts it. So there's various stages and various things involved with your weight gain and your weight loss and your body image. I always talk about things being connected, and this is another one of those things. Don't assume that your belly fat and your weight gain is just physical. There is a definite mental aspect to it. And that mental aspect comes with stress factors. I have been under a little bit more stress the last few months because I've been building this business and I have goals I want to achieve. So I've allowed myself to be a little bit stressed. That might be a factor. I've allowed myself to lay back on moving my body as much, particularly with the weights. That's a factor. Maybe I need to readjust my meditations and my mindset work to specifically work on this area. Maybe I haven't taken the time to appreciate this body as much as I should be. So see how there's all different factors that are involved. They do all encompass one thing though, and that's health, whether it's mental, physical, emotional, spiritual. The health journey is part of the mind shift journey and the mindset. So let's discover that for a little minute here. When you look in the mirror, what are you telling yourself? Are you telling yourself that you're beautiful, you're awesome? Are you finding physical things to love about yourself? Maybe it is your curvy body. One thing I do love about my body is that I still have maintained an hourglass figure. My waist goes in and my hips come out. So I appreciate that about myself. I still have long fingers. My arms are strong. My legs are strong. I think my feet are super cute. My calves are toned. I love the color of my eyes. I think I have super cute ears. And though I may not love the shape of my nose, it is proportionate to my face. So these are small things, but those small things accumulate. Those small things add up and they make a big difference. So it's the beginning. It's the beginning. Let's talk about the fear for a second. Fear of losing yourself, who you used to be. Absolutely. Absolutely. But it's not just the fear of the physical person, though. It's the emotional person and the mental person as well. It's, again, all encompassing. You are one with the physical, the emotional, the mental being. So when fear creeps in, we're afraid that we're not going to be loved as much with the extra pounds. I know that's one of mine, that I'm going to be looked at in a different way as a heavy woman. And I know that there's nothing wrong with that. What's more important is my health. As long as I'm healthy, it doesn't matter what the scale says. But in our minds, media, we've grown up conditioned that thin equals healthy, but it doesn't always. Like in the interview I had last week with Reverend Dr. Joanne, I'm not working out with weights to lose weight necessarily. I'm working out with weights to be strong and to have a healthy heart and to help balance other areas of my life. Working out with weights helps balance blood sugar and that helps cravings. So again, that's connected. It's not necessarily to lose weight. It's about being healthy. So there are many things to consider during the grieving process, grieving the person we used to be. But who's to say that the person you are now or the person that you're becoming isn't better than the person who you used to be? This person might stand up for herself a little bit more and not take the nonsense that used to be in her life before. She doesn't tolerate cattiness and gossip in relationships. She wants real relationships, true connections, true friends. Then when you get together, you talk about the present and the future and what's going right in your life. We're not talking about other people. We're not condemning other people or putting them down because that's not the person that we want to be, is it? On the surface, the weight you're carrying might not still be there for the reason you think it is. You might still be carrying that weight for a totally different reason, and you just haven't let that reason go yet. Like so many other things, it's not black and white. It can be a little complex. It might take some trial and error. If your weight's not where you want it to be, have your thyroid checked. Have some other hormones checked. Are you getting enough collagen? Cortisol levels. There are so many other factors than just you're eating too much or you're not eating healthily enough. I know that for myself. It is more factors as well. So I'm here to tell you that I'm here with you, that I'm human. Sometimes I still fall back into the same patterns. I've been allowing myself to be too busy and not doing what I need to do, not putting myself first and my health first. That's my biggest mistake. And that's the biggest thing I need to change. So as we wrap up today, I want you to remember that it's normal and natural to go through this process. The truth is that you need to prioritize your own health. What's most important to you? Your physical health, your emotional health, your mental health, your spiritual health. They're all important, but maybe choose one. In this case, since this episode is about menopause weight and what we're still carrying and grieving the old person, not accepting the person that you are now in the body that you're in now, we're going to focus on the physical person, the physical being. The mental, the emotional, and the physical are tied together because those emotions, that mental state is going to cause that additional stress. And that's going to keep that weight. That's going to keep that grief. That's going to keep that fear. So what can we do? What do? We put the plan in place. We start one day at a time. We give ourselves a little grace, first of all, because for many of us, this can be a super challenging time. So many things happening at once, and it can be so confusing. Where do I start? Where do I begin? Which issue do I tackle first? But know this, you've got this. You've got it covered. It will come together. It might require just a little bit more inner work, remembering to look yourself in the mirror and say, I love you, not just physically. We talked about a few physical things a few minutes ago. We're talking about spiritually. Self-love is a spiritual thing when it really comes down to it. Letting go of fear is a spiritual thing. And the grief. How do we move through the grief? The key word there, or key words, are move through. We don't want to stay in the grief. We want to acknowledge it, feel it, understand it, but then move through it. Move through the grief. Remember that your body may have carried and birthed 1, 2, 3, 4, however many children. That's an exceptional thing. I commend you. Absolutely. And you should commend yourself. That alone, think about that for a minute. Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, your body has expanded and gained anywhere from 25 to 50 pounds per pregnancy, and then may have lost most of it afterwards, and then did it again and did it again and did it again. So think about that for a minute. It's a really wondrous thing. And it's not uncommon after each child to keep a couple extra pounds on in between the children. Let's remember lifestyle as well. Let's not ignore lifestyle. Treating ourselves with health or living a healthy lifestyle can mean many things to many people. For me, it means moving my body and being balanced with what I eat. I swore I would never diet again, and I started doing it. I started doing keto, so I was eliminating carbs, really lowering them. So then I started having blood sugar issues again. And for me, I think that's part of the reason why I've started to gain a little weight back. So that's why I say, get the tests done. But let's remember to move through that grief in whatever way works for you. We know that we can't go back to that person we used to be, that 25-year-old, that 30-year-old, that 35-year-old. Heck, for me, that 40-year-old, I can't go back to her. In a lot of ways, I don't want to. Do I want her body? Yes. But what would it really take for me to get that body? Am I really willing to put the effort in to get that body? That's the dilemma. That's the choice. I want to also keep in mind, though, based on the work that I do, using my mindset more and keep seeing myself as I want my body to be healthy in that bikini I always talk about. The more I focus on her, the more my body will respond. So I know that I just haven't been focusing on her enough. I've been focusing on building my business too much, and I haven't been focusing on her enough. So that changes, that stops. So that's my tip for moving through this grief and accepting this body the way that it is to keep using my mindset, using the menopause mind shift methods to use my mind, my imagination, to work with my nervous system to achieve my goals, to remember to see myself as I want to see myself on a daily basis over and over again. And after a while, my body will respond. I have faith in that. As far as letting go of the person I used to be, the person you used to be that you're still holding on to, I think in some small way, we always carry a little piece of that person with us, and that's okay. Because we don't want to totally change. We still want to be the person, but we want to be evolved. We want to be that better version. I know I do. I want to be that better version. This version is so much more mentally stable than my younger self. She handles her relationships better than she did. So you know what? I think it's okay right now to say that grieving the body I used to have is still a work in progress. And that's okay, because we always need to have something to work towards, right? Continue growing and learning and using the tools that have worked for me before. I'm going to leave us with one final thought on this today, and that is to say thank you. I am grateful for the ever increasing health of my body. So that's what I'm going to focus on to move through this grief process. Thank you so much for joining me today for today's episode of the Menopause Mindshift Self-Love Podcast. Please let me know in the comments if anything has struck for you today. And as always, please remember to begin every day with self-love first. Bye for now.